Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to talk about Luffy's potential mission as Joy Boy. Now, although it looks like Luffy has become the new Joy Boy, so far we really don't know what exactly this means. But nevertheless, people are waiting for the return of this very important person from the past. And now as the current Joy Boy, Luffy might have many more things to do on his to-do list rather than just make it to the main or last island. With the additional incredible strength of awakening of his devil fruit, we also know that he may now have the strength to fulfill the task that Joy Boy wasn't able to do in the past. And he will also have to fulfill Joy Boy's main mission. In today's video, we're going to talk about Luffy's current missions after becoming the new Joy Boy, what missions he will have to fulfill in order to honor the title he inherited, and how he will accomplish these missions. But before we get to Luffy's huge to-do list, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like, or even subscribing with a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing the video with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So friends, with the recent awakening of Luffy's fruit, he's not only managed to obtain the power of the sun god Nika, but he may have also become this legendary figure known as Joy Boy, who we know at least lived 800 years ago during the Lost Century. Joy Boy was introduced in the One Piece manga as a character, but there are many indications that Joy Boy is actually a title that someone obtained during the past, and possibly because he has that surname of D and has a specific devil fruit, but we don't have this confirmed yet. But what we can deduce is that the former Joy Boy title holder possessed the same power of the sun god Nika, and also possessed the surname D, which may be the reason he was able to obtain or create the title of Joy Boy. However, by inheriting the title of Joy Boy, Luffy has also inherited all the tasks that the former Joy Boy was not able to fulfill, as something may have happened that took his life before he accomplished every one of his goals. It has been said that Joy Boy once had a very important mission: to join with the Fishman Princess and bring Noah, the boat, to the surface so that the fishmen could leave the bottom of the ocean and live together in peace under the sun with humans. Now, we don't know exactly why this was a thing, but it could be that some unexpected situation arose while he was trying to accomplish this mission. It could be that something very serious happened somewhere in the world, so Joy Boy had to go there and find out and help, and it was at this point that he may have lost his life, because after this event, we really have no more information about it. Still, Joy Boy also could have lived longer after failing to complete his mission on the Fishman Island, and that could have been why he left his apology. It's still really unclear what might have happened in the past to cause Joy Boy to lose his life, but because of this unfilled promise, Joy Boy left it to his successor to fulfill this goal, which makes Luffy responsible for bringing Noah to the surface to fulfill the promise that the former Joy Boy made to the Fishman and the Fishman Princess. But obviously this isn't going to be an easy task, since not even the former Joy Boy was able to do this, so it may be that Luffy will have a hard time accomplishing this mission. After all, Noah lies in the depths of the sea, and even though Luffy has achieved great power with this awakening, I really don't know if that's going to be enough to move Noah. Another glaring problem is the fact that his powers get diminished by seawater, and this could be a really big problem because we know that Joy Boy would have needed the help of the princess who controlled the Sea Kings with the power of Poseidon. So it stands to reason that Luffy is going to need the help of the current Poseidon of this era, and that would be Shirahoshi, who has the power to control the Sea Kings. But even though she possesses this power, we don't know if she knows how to work it very well or use it, and then how she might be able to help Luffy bring Noah to the surface. But there is one way that could possibly work, and it would require the help of many people. Beginning with Shirahoshi, she of course has the power to control the Sea Kings, and they do possess an incredible strength, and she even has the ability to summon many Sea Kings, and that might be possible of pushing Noah to the surface. But then again, these gigantic sea monsters still might not be enough if we consider Noah and all of the fishmen there. I mean, it's incredibly huge and heavy, and so it might also need Luffy's Gear 5th to help along with the process. We also might need to bring in some expertise of the other Straw Hats to kind of logic and figure out how Luffy can use his strength and have Shirahoshi command all of the Sea Kings so that as a whole they can bring everything up to the surface safely. But even with this new transformation and Luffy's incredible new strength, which, let's be real, he was able to pull Kaido in his dragon form up out of the Skull Dome, an act that Kaido really did respect. This still doesn't mean that Luffy has everything or just unlimited strength and he's the only one who could bring Noah up. So there's one other person that we want to bring into this discussion. Considering the fact we don't know Zunisha's purpose or what his purpose will be after the Wano arc, it could be that this huge elephant could also help get Noah to the surface, because we know that Zunisha stands on the floor of the sea and has this incredibly huge trunk. Consider for a moment that it was Zunisha that picked up Zoe and put that island on its back. So we know know that Zunisha has the ability to pick up objects that are too deep in the sea, and it does have a long reach. And for those who might say, well, but Luffy might have a giant form. Really, that's not going to be anything compared to Zunisha's height, and he really wouldn't be able to use this increase in size in water. So maybe that it's going to be Zunisha who comes in to really just kind of help this whole process and bring them to the next place where they're going to live. Another really cool twist could be that maybe it's Zunisha who makes the large bubble that lets Luffy in his giant form go down and help out. Because we know that there has to be the special coating on the boats, as we saw the first time when the Straw Hats went to the Fishman Island. Maybe Zunisha's got some ancient knowledge and some tricks up his sleeve, and maybe he will also be able to bring something together that really just helps in the process and even allows Luffy to go underwater. So at the end of all of this, we gotta know that Luffy is not the only one who's gonna be able to bring this large boat to the surface, because even Joy Boy in the past couldn't do it. And not only that, this also has to be an effort of the fishmen for the fishmen, because we know that they're gonna go ahead and settle. And at the very least, I could easily see Zunisha carrying the fishmen in the Noah temporarily until they got to their final place. Aside from Fishman Island, the former Joy Boy had several other important missions that could end up deciding the fate of the entire world. But when he failed to fulfill this mission, Luffy may be responsible for fulfilling these as well. And even though Luffy really may be in a race against time to find the One Piece, there's plenty of time to get Noah to the surface and take care of some of the other things that could be happening in the future. For instance, if the Marines or even Blackbeard found out some kind of information about where the One Piece was, this would make Luffy's timetable to complete the missions that Joy Boy wasn't able to do the least of his worries. He'd have to pick up his pace to get to that last island. Furthermore, for everyone to live in peace, possibly ending the evil deeds of the world government has to also be one of Luffy's goals. And just as it seemed to be Joy Boy's goal in the past, and he didn't succeed, Luffy must succeed, and finally, everyone will be able to live in peace and live in freedom. And aside from the treasure that could be on Laugh Tale, we also know that there could be a bigger meaning to Luffy fulfilling the dream of the One Piece, and also the dreams of his companions. And because the world government may stand in their way, this may be something that all the Straw Hats have to combine their powers for together. So if somehow the world government or Teach kind of intervene and cause Luffy to have to speed up, it might be that it's just going to be the fishmen who are going to figure out their way to get to the surface. Because Luffy might just need them to go there, or there may be a way for him to communicate with Shirahoshi, and with something that might be coming, the fishmen might have to get out of the way because there may be a much bigger threat coming towards that whole island. Also, more than that, we also have to consider where Luffy and his crew is in comparison to Fishman Island. And in fact, he'd probably have to sail most of the way around the world to get back there, unless they were using some kind of Denden Mushi or something. So this may end up prioritizing Luffy having to stop the world government, because once the world government figures out who Luffy is and what he's become, they're really going to go after him, which would make the Straw Hat figure out what his real fate may end up being. Another thing to remember is that Rayleigh had already warned them about this as well, and about how the events of the past and how Roger talked about something very big that even he wasn't able to do. In fact, if we think about when he's on Laugh Tale, it seemed that whatever has been said is they were just quote-unquote too early. But however long the to-do list that Luffy inherits is going to be, these goals could end up being revealed by Zunisha. Because again, the Great Elephant was Joy Boy's companion and has to know what has been going on, not only from Joy Boy's time, but in all of the intervening years. And for all we know, there may also be a part of Zunisha's mission where he was expected to wander the seas, and as an additional part of this punishment, that he then needs to impart the story to the next Joy Boy. That might be why he's kind of been waiting and then responded to the drums of liberation. Besides the world government and the mission that involves them, we also can't forget Imsama, this mysterious character who proves to be one of the biggest obstacles that could end up being the biggest villain that Luffy is going to face in the whole arc. And along with Teach, these are going to be the two that Luffy may have to really worry about in the future. So as Luffy finds out more about the true history that's been erased and all about the Great Kingdom, as Luffy goes to face down the world government, this could become another true battle of all the kingdoms that have come together, and everyone that Luffy has been able to bring together as he's saved so many different islands and lives throughout the course of their journey. Because never forget the fact that even all before we'd ever heard about Joy Boy and all of these other things that have come to light recently, Luffy and his crew have been about freedom and saving and releasing people from slavery and bondage their entire journey. Just consider Luffy's first act. He freed Zoro from prison, and then we saw other people freed and with Nami, and the list goes on and on and on. But first, we're gonna have to see how Luffy makes it out of this, and then how things play out for him to help out. But for now, let us know what you think about it. What do you think Luffy's real missions are? What kind of to-do list do you think Luffy's inherited? Let us know in the comments below. So friends, as we end our video for the day, I want to thank you all so much for watching the video till the very end. Make sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.